It is no longer a secret that 1 million people will be establishing a new civilization of mankind on Mars in just a few years. Elon Musk, NASA, and other top notch scientists have been slowly but surely making progress in the design and creation stages. NASA and Elon Musk recently discovered something on Mars that may indicate the presence of life. Did they discover evidence of alien life, or was it just contamination? These findings are going to have major implications for Mars and our existing settlements on the planet. Mars is by far the better option for people who wish to live. Mars' proximity to Earth and low gravity make it much easier for humans on this planet to effectively use it as a home. Venus and Mercury are like microwaves, which would not be ideal for life because they aren't liquid water or breathable air. Search is the sheer amount of temperature waiting to crush the lungs and dry out the skin of any man or spacecraft that even attempts to approach those planets. There are a lot of great planets out there, but Earth and Mars are currently our best options to set up life on. It's difficult to pass on the other planets since they would require a lot more work if we went with them. Let's not even talk about the long forgotten dwarf planet of Pluto. What are these cold temperatures we're talking about? If only they didn't exhibit temperature far below what human stamina could normally tolerate. Agencies like NASA and SpaceX have set up a renewed push to not only find out how they might be able to live on any of these planets, but also determine what life would be like in each case. What we have now is a rush to locate evidence of life on Mars, the only planet that might be habitable. Several unknown factors about Mars have prevented humans from making birth yet. Mars is known for its dense atmosphere and extreme cold, both of which are dangerous for human health. However, Pluto might be the one planet that you'd rather not live on because of the high pressure. These gases are less volatile than in other worlds, making Earth the likely candidate for life's origin. We're moving past the idea of Mars being a lost civilization built by ancient aliens and into reality, where its beings used to be people or aliens like in sci-fi movies. It is high time we embrace the fact that we are the only ones existing in the solar system. And Earth has only just evolved enough to be able to accommodate all of us, other planets who are not so friendly. Elon Musk has been very close to NASA these past few years through their probes and rovers that have been sent into the Martian atmosphere to see if Mars is comparable to Earth. It is fascinating that scientists are beginning to find more evidence of water in places where it has been difficult to find. They have discovered things like underground rivers, geysers, and springs. Scientists are looking to get confirmation of the water they believe may be flowing as seen in NASA's Curiosity rover, which detected water. This river path must have been at least ankle deep to hip deep. Now it is all dried up along with several lakes surrounding Mount Sharp, a unique landform on Mars. Scientists argue over the rock of Mount Sharp's origin. Some say it was never just mud, as there was life on Mars when the water flowed in this region known as the Gale Crater. The rivers and lakes in the area might have been around for 1 million years. Whether or not the source of the crater has been there for that long is unclear, but it looks like it's been there for a while. As usual, there are many different ways to look at the idea of a body of water. There are different factors to consider, whether the area could have supported living organisms and how long ago it existed. Hence, the Curiosity rover took a few samples of soil for analysis. It found key elements like sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and carbon. Curiosity obtained the samples by drilling in what the scientists have chosen to refer to as the sheep bed mudstone. The findings that came from this project are crucial for understanding where life started here on Earth. Some scientists believe that there will be organic life on Mars. If this happens, it will prove difficult to differentiate clearly between samples of Martian material. They hope the use of certain salts and the presence of clay may help substantiate their claims. Scientists have ruled out the possibility of the water from this man-made lake being saltwater because its salt content is too low. This means that the water in this lake is drinkable. The Mars rover also found a more organic rock in the rock beds of Mars. Unlike earlier expeditions, the Curiosity rover was armed with a special drill that could allow extracting core samples of rocks to study them up close. The samples don't represent the possibility of life ever existing on Mars in the past or present, but they could bode well for the future. I mean, why not? We are seeing signs of life supporting ingredients important to supporting life, which is a good sign. We know more now about the so called red pill planet that we can use to support new studies. What happens is most of our thoughts get fixed and set in the right direction. Another incredible discovery is the presence of active methane in the atmosphere. Mars rover's tunable laser spectrometer has been able to detect these levels for a long time. Research has revealed that methane is one of the main compounds that organisms can produce relatively easily, so it's important to know if there's an increase. This discovery is a win-win, as you'll gain valuable knowledge about the presence of methane, one of the core carbon compounds that is easily produced by living organisms. It is possible that microorganisms or plants could thrive on Mars. Despite the lack of such observations, scientists have seen proof that they do exist. Scientists are excited about the idea that Mars might have been covered in water tens of billions of years ago, but there is no evidence for this at all. Without knowing what could have contributed methane to Mars' atmosphere, it's hard to verify the theories. If there's anything scared of about Mars, it is how high the radiation levels are. NASA has refused to send astronauts because they just wouldn't be able to function on Mars without personal protective equipment, considering that in setback plans to occupy the planet for a few years, the rover has also discovered the galactic cosmic rays that are often produced from supernova explosions and solar energetic particles that are emitted from solar flares and high energy released from the sun. Elon Musk is a tech genius, so it's not surprising that he's able to master even the most difficult things. Although it seems like humans won't be going to Mars anytime soon, he'll probably figure out a way for humanity to explore the planet in the future. According to him, we could heat it a bit with our form of planet thermostat. Otherwise, we can only dream of coming up with safer ways by which astronauts can land on Mars to do some work that will ultimately benefit human progression and the Earth. Scientists debate the pros and cons of having a breathable atmosphere on Mars. However, there is some good news. Thanks to the large amounts of hydrogen and heavy isotopes, the atmosphere may still provide some silver linings. They seem to give us a clue into what the original atmosphere of Mars was like, and how we could mean that it used to have so much water flowing across and beneath the surface. The MAVEN mission to Mars was able to provide many different insights into how the planet lost its water and how it might still be possible for life to exist. Its orbiter found that about 97% of the planet's once thick atmosphere would have evaporated in a single season and through the top of its atmosphere. Questions surround how clouds cool the planet's surface. Scientists have yet to find a conclusive answer, but it seems likely that some forms of evaporation caused by heat from the sun could contribute to this process. Unless the water cycle operates differently on Mars, there is simply no way to compare the planet's barren landscape to work. Space exploration is an effort that many people are passionate about. People have been striving to find new ways of traveling in space since the earliest days of mankind. The much-anticipated spacecraft, which is designed to send settlers to Mars, is nearing completion, making it only a matter of time before we reach our objectives. The Starship is huge and is currently progressing with this design. We hope that groundwork on Mars will be able to catch up with our rapidly expanding space exploration gadgets. We cannot wait to have our mini metropolis on Mars with billions of people living in it. We may not be able to conquer everything that's out there, but we will try.